Hey Dodgers fans. Today was one of those days that really shake the fans' hearts. Two big pieces of news dropped at once, and no one's ready for them. On one side, an injury that feels like déjà vu, taking out one of the team's most versatile players right when the squad needs him most. On the other, a surprising silence at the trade deadline, with no blockbuster signings and a huge bet on a prospect who won't arrive anytime soon. Want to know what all this might mean for your team? Then go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned because what's coming next could be decisive. News number one, Tommy Edman injured again. Are the Dodgers sinking into a top-tier hospital? You know that creepy feeling of déjà vu that gives you chills? Now imagine that déjà vu hurting your ankle live on national TV. Because that's exactly what happened to Tommy Edman. The guy basically became the walking definition of bad luck for the Dodgers. Sunday, Rays versus Dodgers. First base, Edman rounds the bag with the energy of someone trying not to feel pain, and fails miserably. Stiff, limping, walking off the field with the exact same face as last week. Yes, the same scene, the same ankle, the same grimace, the same ending, right ankle sprain. Again, it's like one of those bad movies that insist on making sequels. You know it's going to go wrong, but you're still there watching it unfold. And look, Coach Dave Roberts didn't beat around the bush. He said, it's a recurrence of what he's been dealing with after he hit the bag. And hold on, he meant the first base bag. Okay? I just don't see how it's not an IL injured list. End of story. Timber, it's over. Despite still playing at a high level. And here's where things get serious. Because Tommy Edman may not be putting up amazing numbers this year, but he's the kind of player that leaves a tactical hole when he's gone. Let's look at the numbers real quick. .226 average, 12 home runs, 44 RBIs, and an 88 OPS plus in 85 games. Not exciting, but not a disaster either. He even started the year well, but since the first injury, he's never been back at 100%. But forget stats for a second. Edman is a guy you put in any position, and he handles it. Left field? Sure. Second base? No problem. Shortstop? Yep, that too. He's like that office worker who solves everything. And when he's missing, the place turns into complete chaos. And now he's out. Add him to Kike Hernandez. Add him to Hye-Sung Kim. Throw in Muncie's own physical doubts, since he's just coming back. Man, the Dodgers have more players in the infirmary than on the bench. And here comes the inevitable question. How is this team still fighting at the top? Seriously, they're holding on to the top spots with duct tape and hope. It's impressive, but there's a limit, right? The defense is already showing cracks. Rotations are stretched thin. Players who should be in AAA are having to play in a playoff-level series. And with how tight the National League standings are, any 5-game losing streak completely changes the picture. Oh, and to make things worse, this sprain is the same one from the beginning of the season, meaning it clearly didn't heal right. Maybe he came back too soon. Maybe the guy's ankle is made of industrial gelatin. But the truth is the Dodgers couldn't afford to lose another starter for so long. And losing the only guy who plays 5 positions hurts more than it seems. Now think about it. You have your lineup's utility player injured, your backup options also out, and the guy stepping Muncie is more of a power hitter than a top-tier defender. So you solve one problem, but lose another. It's like covering your foot and discovering your head is exposed. And the playoffs? They're already knocking on the door. September comes in the blink of an eye. And if Edman has to relearn how to walk before he can run again, forget it. The impact won't be just on offense. It'll be on defense, on the bench, on the team's rhythm. And you want to know the craziest part? Fans are already starting to wonder if it's worth forcing his return still in 2025. Because this kind of recurring injury doesn't just disappear. And if he comes back too soon again, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he locks up trying to round second base in the wild card game. The question is, are the Dodgers going to find someone on the market to fill this hole? Or are they betting everything on a miraculous recovery from the infirmary? Because so far, their plan B looks more like a plan Z. And now I throw it to you. Is this injury streak going to take the Dodgers down in October? Or does this patched-up roster still have enough gas to fight for the title? Comment below, because if this is the end of the line, a lot of people will be wondering if Edman's ankle just cost him a World Series. News number 2. Dodger surprise. No blockbuster trade, but Japanese monster is coming. Man, what was up with the Dodgers deadline? Seriously, the guys showed up like they were going to own the party and left holding a soda and 2 peanuts in their pockets. Literally. You look at a team with Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and you think, alright, these guys will show up at the deadline and upgrade the roster in style. But no blockbuster moves. No game-changing player. No reinforcements for the bullpen or third base. Just 2 additions and an awkward silence, like everything is already settled. And the front office acted like the roster was perfect. No holes. Like the bullpen hasn't been giving up runs non-stop since June. Like Max Muncy is the same guy from 2019, ready to carry third base in October. The reality? Nothing like that. Everyone knows it. The team is leading the division. Fine. But anyone watching the games regularly knows that leadership is held together by a lot of tension, a lot of improvisation, and a bit of luck. It's the kind of campaign that looks solid until October knocks on the door. Let's be real. Blake Snell arrived with fanfare, but he's already back on the injured list. Tanner Scott, who was supposed to be the bullpen silver bullet, is also dealing with physical issues. And Max Muncy, he's been out for weeks. And even before getting hurt, he was playing at a completely unstable pace, batting around .250, with some flashes here and there, but nothing inspiring confidence. The guy has power at the plate, yes, but he disappears in crucial moments. He swings wildly, and you want to put your World still playing at a high level on that. And we haven't even talked about Michael Conforto, who hasn't delivered what was expected so far. His numbers are well below his average. Defense is okay, but the bat? Inconsistent. And the bullpen? Man, some innings look like Russian roulette. When the game reaches the 7th inning and the starter is gone, Dodgers fans enter a state of prayer. No exaggeration. Camilo Doval, Bednar, the Yankees went after them. The Phillies went after them. The Giants made moves. And the Dodgers, nothing. It feels like a joke. The impression is that the front office went into this deadline with their mind stuck on what they did in the offseason. Like just spending $500 million on Ohtani and Yamamoto gave them the right to rest until October. Like, relax, we already did our part. But the season doesn't stop. Problems appear. Injuries happen. And MLB waits for no one. Then people say, oh, when Muncy comes back, things will be different. Dude, what? When is Muncy coming back? You're going to rely on a guy who's already 33, with an injury history, and in the last guaranteed year of his contract? Remember, he has a $10 million option for next year, an option the Dodgers can definitely say no to, especially after cutting other veterans, like Chris Taylor, for example, who is useful but now is dead weight on the roster. And that's when the name Munetaka Murakami starts circulating. Yes, the Japanese phenom. The guy is a monster at the plate. Even at just 25 years old, he's already hit over 220 home runs in Japan. And despite a recent elbow surgery, he's getting ready to come strong to MLB. He'll become a free agent this winter. And guess which team is a favorite to sign him? Exactly, the Dodgers, because they've done it before. Yamamoto, Ohtani, Sasaki, all those big names from Japan are already Dodger property. They have the structure, the money, and most importantly, the track record. If Murakami wants to come play in the States and chase a title, the destination seems obvious. Kerry Miller from Bleacher Report even predicted the contract. 6 years with the Dodgers, becoming Muncy's natural replacement. Imagine the lineup with Ohtani, Freeman, Betts, and Murakami side by side. That's a machine. But here's the catch. That's only in December. And until then, there's playoffs. There's September. There's series against the Giants, Padres, Braves, Phillies. What are the Dodgers going to do until then? Are they going to rely on Kike Hernandez and Miguel Rojas to hold down third base? Are they betting Gavin Luck for wake up? Man, That's not going to cut it. And this decision not to make a move now could cost them dearly later. Because even being one of the best teams on paper, the Dodgers have a recent history of collapsing in the playoffs. In 2022, it was against the Padres. In 2023, the same story. Teams that fly high in the regular season, but fall apart when the pressure's on. And you know why? Because they lack depth. They lacked adjustments. They lacked that deadline move that changes the course of series. And this year looked perfect for that. There were good players available. There were teams needing to shed salary. There were competitors making moves. But the Dodgers chose to trust in recoveries, in returns, and in the potential that's already there. And that's fine if it works out. But if it doesn't, if Muncy comes back and doesn't produce, if the bullpen keeps melting down, if Snell doesn't recover well, then no Murakami will save them. So the question is, do the Dodgers really believe they already have enough to win? Or are they just kicking down the road, waiting for the next offseason like it's a video game with infinite career mode? And you out there, Dodgers fan, do you still trust his roster? Or was this the biggest misread of the season? Comment below. Is the team ready, or does it just look ready on paper? So, Dodgers fan, what do you think about this mix of injuries that seem endless and the silence in the market that left everyone on edge? Will the team overcome these challenges and arrive strong in the playoffs? Or will these risky bets end up costing them big? I want to know your opinion. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates, and comment down below. Do you trust this team to bounce back, or do you think the season might end sooner than expected?